Everyone, you're all welcome. And today we're going to be talking about how parents can spark joy amidst family challenges, right? So we'll be both on IG Live and on Zoom.
Yeah.
That's so cool. All right. So with me today is Ann Dooley. She's
Hi.
special. She is special. Like just the past 1 year that I've been following her, she didn't know I was there, but I was always
I saw you. Thank you. Thank you.
I was always observing, waiting for her posts, and really they inspire, they educate. And when I see all her organizing tips, I'm like, oh my God, I just want my house to be like this. And sometimes I'll tell myself, I'm sure maybe when I go to New York, I'll just hook up with her, something like that. But today she's here with us and she'll be speaking to us about because she's a parenting counselor and she knows all about that stuff. So she'll be talking to us today about sparking joy as a parent, even amidst family challenges. So I just hand over to Anne first. She's going to introduce herself. Then she's also going to talk about how we can spark joy. Then hand over to me. Then I'll also talk about how you can spark joy too amidst your family challenges. Then we are going to give out our gifts that we have for today to all the parents. All right. So over to you, Anne.
Thank you so much, Nosa. When Nosa reached out to me, she told me that today, well, it's perfect because it's Global Day of Parents, and you're in Nigeria. I'm in New York, and originally from Taiwan. So this is definitely like a global event. And I think it just shows me that doesn't matter where you are in this world, all parents have challenges. And, we're here to support each other. So thank you so much for having me. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ann Dooley. I'm a professional organizer and a certified KonMari consultant. I'm a mom of two. I have two boys, ages 6 and 11, and I'm very proud to say that they do all of their own cleaning up and also their laundry. I have to nudge them a little bit, but they do it all themselves. I haven't done it for the last 2 years or since I learned the KonMari method and decided to apply the KonMari method to my parenting. And so when Nosa reached out to me and we're discussing like what to share with you guys today, I've really, once I've KonMari'd my home and my home is organized, you start to apply this method to other areas of your life. So some people apply it to their work, others with their relationships. And for me I started to using it with my parenting, and I have found that, no matter what the challenge is, whether it's, them being picky about their eating or not doing chores, you can apply the KonMari method to just about anything. And so having this one proven method for organizing, you just need to apply the same thing, the same steps to your parenting. And so recently I started a Facebook group called Spark Joy Parenting. And part of that and all the posts that Nosa has been seeing is me trying to combine the two, I call it tidying up your parenting. So, you want this life for your whole family to spark joy. So for those of you who are not familiar with the KonMari method, there are 6 rules. And the very first one is commit to tidying. And how we can apply that to the parenting life is that you want to commit to what kind of parent you want to be. Because in the past, if we learn based on how our childhood was, like how our parents raised us. So, our being first-time parents, like that's all you have, unless you go online or do your own research to find out, maybe a different parenting style. So there are a lot of names for the parenting style that I practice and look into. You can call it respectful parenting, conscious parenting, mindful parenting. They all kind of fall under the same rules where you want to have a relationship with your children where you're both working together towards the same goal. There's mutual respect and trust, and you're using empathy. And so, you know, I studied in that and started practicing that. But with, you know, this first rule in KonMari is deciding that, you know, even as simple as, I just don't want to be the kind of parent that yells at my kids or punish them, or you bribe them to do things, or you threaten them if they don't do something. And it's really hard because those methods work, you know, but they work short term. It's very tempting a lot of times. Like, I will, you know, you can have this
now, you know.
Yeah, but it's how you present it, and how, you know, if you're clear in your mind that you want your parenting style where after you say something or after you ask them to do something, when you walk away, you still feel good about it. Because a lot of times, you know, we know it when we're yelling, it's like you see the words just come out of your mouth that you can't get it back. And so, you know, once you're committed, then you're much more aware of yourself when you're parenting. And then the second step is to envision. So the KonMari method, you want to envision, like, what is my ideal lifestyle? So applying that to parenting, it's like, well, what does that look like? If I was watching like this, you know, movie about a family and they get along great, like, what does that movie look like? You know, are we having these like family traditions that everyone's involved, or like I'm picturing at dinner time, the kids are putting their own plates away, and maybe the older kids or somebody's helping you while you're cooking, and they do their homework. You know, just, it's okay to set your goal really high and find like, what is that ideal, because you want to have that vision, your goal, so you can work towards that. And then the third rule in KonMari is to discard first, you know? So applying that to parenting, it's like, what kind of things do I need to let go first before I can start creating more habits and things that I want? So we really want to let go of control, because we know we can't change anybody, but we can definitely influence them or inspire them. And so, you know, you realize that every time you try to control your child to do something, it ends with them having a meltdown. Maybe you have a meltdown too. And it's just adds a lot of stress and tension for everyone. Like, the energy of your home does not spark joy. And so letting go of control and understand that I can't control anybody but yourself. So I need to start here and make sure that I don't let my anger, my frustration escalate. And then you also want to, let me just check my notes real quick. So the things you want to let go is like some of your expectations, because it may not be realistic. It may not be age appropriate. You know, if I teach my child how to fold, here's how you fold pants, here's how you fold t-shirts, and you can't expect him to just start doing it the next day to do everything. So I tend to keep my expectation lower and focus on these baby steps. And like, every time they make a small step, that's when you do a lot of encouragement and you know, positive reinforcement. So then they feel excited about taking that next step, the next baby step. And then you want to also let go of your own inner child issues too. You know, I know I carry a lot of baggage, and maybe some of you also. It's very easy to project our own feelings and our own trauma issues onto our kids. So, you know, I know a lot of times when I see them crying and when they're hurt, I mean, as a mom, you can't stand it, but it triggers me to bring back all of my own issues of being sad, and what I'm feeling may be totally different from what they're feeling.
Yeah.
But then I try to be overprotective and try to like heal yourself in the process of trying to heal your child. So you want to be very careful that you can separate your emotions and just look at your child as an independent person with their own emotions. You know, you go sort yourself out. Don't get the two mixed. It's very much like when you're decluttering a space. You want to create boundaries and you want to put things in order. You know, you don't mix your crayons with, you know, shampoos. they have to stay separate. And then the fourth category in KonMari is to tidy by categories. So the way I see it is that, you know, there are these categories of kids doing chores is one category. Maybe their school projects, schoolwork is another. And then another one may be the life skills or you know, how you can teach them to be resilient. Sorry, because we're doing the two screens, I actually have my phone taped to my computer and I saw it slide. So I slowly I was sliding off screen. So the, you know, the different categories that you and your spouse, your partner can figure out what those are. You know, you group together, like chores would be maybe doing laundry, maybe cleaning up after dinner or cleaning up their space. And then another category is schoolwork. Then you think about, okay, there's schoolwork, there's also after school things. And so you group all those together. And then because the fifth category for organizing is to go in the right order. So for KonMari your stuff, you go by clothing, books, paper, miscellaneous. So sticking in that order for organizing is so that you are honing your joy checking skills, and each category gets progressively harder. But I think when you think of parenting, maybe you need to prioritize which of those chunks is most important to you right now. So you can rank, like right now, you know, for your clients, it's like, okay, potty training right now is on my mind. That's the most important thing. So you kind of just want to put all your effort into that and maybe let some of the other things go a little bit. You can have some rules in place or fix, you know, put things into your routine. But I think if you know that, okay, but right now we really want to master potty training, or really want to master folding the bed, because otherwise the parents get overwhelmed. That I have to figure out their school, their chores and all that. And it overwhelms the child too, because suddenly you want me to know how to do everything and, you know, make all the problems go away. And it doesn't happen that way. So I always want to, you know, remind parents, like, focus on just little small progress, small victories for the parents and for the child. And you can take away that pressure that like once they learn something, they got to know it.
Yeah.
And when you prioritize, then it's your list of things, you know, you cross that off. Okay, now we got potty training done. What's next? You know? And so the last category for KonMari is to see if something sparks joy. And I think with parenting, there's a expression that I don't know if you know in America, it's like you say, pick your battles. You know, so you let some things go, you got to pick your battles. But I read a quote somewhere, it's like, you know, their childhood and parenting, it shouldn't be a battle. Like, you know, we're all on the same team, we're all on the same side. And so instead of thinking that way, and maybe if the child gets their way and you feel defeated, or vice versa, they feel like they don't have a say and they don't have any control, and because you don't really win, right? So what we're looking for is a win-win situation where either it's a compromise or you and the child come up with a solution together. So, you know, because once they're invested in in coming up with a solution. You may be surprised. I've asked my kids, they're like, well, what do we do about, this toy, or like what to do? And they can come up with solutions that they feel good about, and you feel good about too. And that's what you want in just all aspects of parenting. So I think as we learn, just like when we're tidying our things, you maybe buy something by mistake and you learn that, okay, maybe that color doesn't look good on me. And you say thank you and you let it go. It's similar in parenting, because every child is so different, and you want to treat them as an individual based on, their age, their development. So you may try something with one child and have it not work with the other. Maybe this child is a visual learner. Maybe this one needs to be more tactile and things have to, move. One can sit still. The other one needs to, jump up and down first. And so really, I think it brings more joy when you allow yourself to not have, I need all my children to be the same, like Sound of Music, where they all wear the same thing. It maybe make the parents' life a little bit easier, but then you're missing out on the, what your child comes with, like this precious person's gift, that what they have to offer. And so while they don't have a lot of control over their life, because we make so many decisions, maybe there are places where you can offer them. I would with my parents to offer two things that you get the same result. Do you want to put the shoes on first or your jacket first to go out? Because either way, you got to put both of them on. And so when you offer something like, do you want to eat, your peas first, or you want to eat your broccoli first? And so they feel like they have some power and some control and have choices, but you still get what you need accomplished. So, so those are the 6 rules in the KonMari method that I feel like, if you know this method well from doing the KonMari method for your home, you can also tidy up your parenting using the same thing. And having this very simple way to structure how you parent, I think makes it easier than, sometimes there are just too many resources online and books, and you just need, give me one way that I can use I don't have to think about it anymore. Once you do it, once you're just, step and repeat.
Wow,
That's what I've got to share today. And do you want to get into how you apply your creativity with your potty training?
Yeah, I do. All right, thank you so much. And that was
You're welcome.
Awesome. I learned a lot. So I'll be talking about, first of all, I think I need to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nosa Aigbe, and I actually help moms make their life better. In short, I think my whole mission is just to help mothers have an easier life, better life, and in return for the whole family. So that's what I do. Right now, I'm focusing on potty training because I've been getting so many questions and so many, as in a lot of people reach out to me, please, can you help me potty train? Can you help me potty train? So I've decided to help, and that's what I'm doing. But today we are going to be focusing on parents and how to spark joy. And I'll be talking with reference to what I've learned in my experience as a parent and in my life. So I would start by, Anne mentioned letting go. Letting go is so prior. In short, I think I would put it as number one, because really we have a lot of baggage, we do. And as humans, we get hurt. And I always say, hurt people hurt others, because that's just how it is. You would not know, you think, oh, everybody's the one hurting me. But because you are hurt and you haven't let go, you wouldn't know that the repercussion is what you are seeing. You are thinking everybody's against you, but they are just reacting to how you are behaving to them. So I learned that, I think I learned that earlier on, and I started applying it to my life. Right from when I was like in secondary school, I'll tell myself, forget about it. If somebody hurts me, I just say, forget about it, and I let it go. I never knew that that skill was going to help me in my life, even as a parent, you know. And I got married, and that skill has helped me till now. Like, you know, your spouse is like your number one fan, right? And definitely, every time, even as much as you love them and they love you, they everybody steps on each other's toes. I mean, I step on my husband's toes, and he steps on my toes. But how you actually handle it will determine how your kids are going to get this reception, because they are the ones to suffer most of it in the end. Because when you are hurt, when your husband is hurt,
Yeah.
they seem to be the ones to be the victims. That's why you have to always let go. And one thing that's always helped me to let go, because people always ask, hey, so how should I let go? Because sometimes I'll say, oh yes, I've let go. And when I remember about that, you know, when you're just sitting still in one corner and just start thinking, how would he say this? How would this person tell me this? How would she do this behind my back? You know, and you start thinking and you are feeling all the hurt. My sister, you have not let go, because if you can still feel the same hurt, like how could she? That is one sign that you have not let go and you need help. If you need to talk to somebody about it, do so. But one thing that has always helped me let go is actually pray about it. It might look so religious, but I'm not much of a religious person. I have my beliefs. So I actually is this something that I really cannot control so much, because you are a human being, you are bound to have feelings, right? So I feel hurt. And you're telling me to let go, I should just forget about it. I mean, I don't have amnesia. I didn't forget. He did it. Don't tell me to forget about it, you know. But in the power of letting go, as Nelson Mandela would say, no, I don't think he said that, but whoever quoted this, to forgive is divine, because really it is not humanly possible most times to forgive, so just let go. I think sometimes you just need some extra help. That's why I say to forgive is divine, because I just say, okay, God, just help me forgive this person. I remember one time my sister hurt me like so much. I told myself I would never forgive her. I would never talk to her again. But, you know, I just said, what the heck? I was hurt every day thinking about it. Like, how could she? How could she? And I just said, are you not just suffering? You know?
Yeah.
Just suffering. And being a parent, imagine that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm here with my kids, and you wouldn't know that you are hurt until you see yourself venting on your kid, just because it's not even the kid's fault, you know?
Yeah.
So I just said, okay, this is it. God, just help me let go. I'm willing to let go, so you just have to help me. And funny enough, would you believe that it just went so easily? I called her and we hooked up, and it was that. I was like, oh, that really works. So I think I should be trying that. So maybe you too can try that. So that's one thing that works for me, letting go. And when I coming to the potty training part, a lot of parents are actually scared of letting go of the diaper, because they just feel, you want me to let go of the diaper. You know what you are saying? Like, are you picturing what I'm picturing? Like poop all over the place, like everywhere? And I say, yes, that's the first step. The other steps will come in time, but that is the first step. It's always hard. You have to prepare your mind for it. It's not just something you just wake up today and just say, okay, yes, we are going to get rid of the diaper. No, it doesn't just work that way. And that's also going to bring us to number 2 point that I have here. You have to set the tone. Now, setting the tone, I'll talk from a parent's point of view and from a potty trainer's point of view. So as a parent's point of view, in setting the tone, I'll give you a picture, an illustration of something that happened in my house. So there was a particular period, I don't know, I just happened to be very impatient. And my first daughter is the talking type. She's always talking. I'm not much of a talker. I'm a quiet person. So when I just want something done, I say it once and I just want it done. I don't have to say it all the time. Like, so when I have to say it all the time, it irritates me. Like, can't you just do this? So I found myself in that position where I always had to repeat myself, and that made me start yelling. I didn't know. I was thinking that I was actually getting things done. Oh yeah, do this fast. Let's get it done. But I didn't know that what she was receiving was different. from nowhere, I wouldn't say from nowhere, all of a sudden, she too started yelling. When I tell her, when she talks to me, when she's upset about something, she yells. I just say, why is it? And when she first yelled at me, I was in shock. I was like, what's going on? But then she started saying the words I would say, like, can't you just, I said, oh, I see where this is coming from. This is me. This is me. Yeah. I can't say, oh, where did you learn this from? This is me. It was a serious wake-up call for me. And I said, I set this tone. I have to correct this. So the next morning I woke up and I just said, okay, God, we have to correct this. Help me to be patient. Help me to listen to her. And it should just help me, because really the same things would probably happen, but how I would respond to it now would determine a lot. So yeah, that was how I actually started calming down. When something happens, maybe I tell her, don't sit on the table. Normal, don't sit on the table. Then she sits on it, maybe she falls off and says to the table, but I told you not to sit on the table. Then I come down and say, okay, but next time we see why you shouldn't sit on the table. My approach was now different. So when she commits a crime, like one time she emptied my full perfume bottle. It was smelling all over the place up to the living room. And I asked her, did you use my perfume? She said, no. At this time, I was tempted to get angry at her. Like, why are you lying? You don't lie. We don't lie in this house, But I just said, be calm. That's not the way out. So I spoke to her. I said, you can always tell mommy anything. So can you just tell me what happened to this perfume? And I was surprised. Just said, mommy, I'm sorry. Hey, I said, oh my God, what just happened? Like, what just happened? So
you gotta give her a chance.
Yeah, exactly. So you set the tone. And if I have to bring it to potty training, how you set the tone is, number one, your mindset towards potty training. That is very important. You have to prepare that first before you go into, I wouldn't say battle, before you go and start the journey. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Before you start the journey, you have to prepare your mind first. Because if you picture potty training as, oh, this thing is going to be work, it's going to be so overwhelming. I see you have already defeated yourself.
Right.
You have lost the battle, because even before the challenges come, you have been defeated. So you have to start the preparation from your mind. So you set the tone from there. And second, you set the tone from your environment, making it work for you, making it work for your child. You have to set the tone with your lifestyle. Are you a busy mom? Is it a good time for me to start potty training? These are the things that you look out for before you start potty training, because that's how you set the tone for potty training. That's how you actually end up being successful. These things come before the actual, okay, sit on the potty. That's later. So you have to set the tone first, prepare the environment, bring out the potty, let the child get used to it. Let it not be like this strange object in my house. Put it everywhere. When the child is playing, put it there. Let the child just know, oh, this is something it looks like a chair. Maybe I could just sit on it. Just be something familiar.
Yeah.
Before you now say, okay, I think you can actually pee in this, and you start showing examples. I actually say my potty training processes are very simple and fun, because I don't believe things should be complicated in this life. Life is already complicated. So that's why I really love the KonMari method. Because it's really simple. Simplicity. So good. All right. So my third point would be how you actually set tone is you visualize what you want, like you just said. How I actually pictured my family to be had always been in my head. Even though our beginning years they were good, but then every family has challenges, right? So when we encounter challenges, I have to say, but this is not what I pictured. And in doing that, something says this very important principle that everybody needs to apply, and that is what you say. So when you visualize, what do you see? And what do you say after what you see? Because what is happening right now is opposite of the picture you have in your head. But it doesn't mean you actually have to say that, like, oh, my family is a mess. You don't say that, because words have energy. Words are powerful. Like, this thing has worked for me and my family like magic. I would say that, because my mom is so conscious. When we were growing up, you can't even say, maybe I come to the house and probably my brothers are scattered everywhere. If I come to the house and I say, wow, this house is scattered, my mom will say, shush, you don't say that. We were so conscious of our words. Like she wouldn't even let us say any negative word. And I brought that into my own nuclear family. Like I cannot, even when things are messy and things are going bad, I wouldn't say, wow, this family is just upside down. It's just things are going haywire. I wouldn't say that because words have power. Whatever you say has the power to create. It has. And this thing has been so scientifically proven all the time. In fact, I've seen videos of people even speaking plants. You speak bad words to a plant, the plant dies.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
would you speak
I've
bad words? Yeah. I've even seen physical videos of it. Like, this is like awesome. And when you speak good words to a plant, they live. So why would you say something bad about your child?
Right.
Because the child is. That's why when people say even potty training for stubborn kids, I say don't say that. You don't call your child stubborn.
Yeah, right. You don't label
anybody calling my child. You don't do that. So I wouldn't call your child, I'll say for stubborn kids. I'll say instead of stubborn, why don't you use strong-willed? That's something.
Right. Very, yeah.
We don't know what we are referring to. So why do you use something negative? Why don't you look for a positive connotation of what you are trying to say?
Right.
So that's going to help. So what you say, you affirm these things. Even when things are bad, you already have a vision of what you want. Say that vision even when things are bad. Works. And this thing has worked in my potty training. This is one secret. This is what I'm spilling right now. So when I started potty training my daughter, at first she wasn't getting it. And I said, I don't know why she isn't getting it. I just said, no, you don't say that. So when I want to say that, like maybe she has an accident in the living room.
Yeah.
And I say, why didn't I just say, And instead I say, my daughter gets potty training easily. I say that out loud.
Replace
Would
it.
you believe that I potty trained both my kids before they were 18 months? I potty trained one at 18 months. I'm serious. I potty the other at 17 months.
Yeah.
So, and they both got potty trained. Do you know that they even got potty trained at 9 before the age of 1?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
And when I tell people that my daughters are potty trained, when they see my daughter is going to be 2 next month.
Yeah.
And she long stopped diapers like 6 months ago.
Okay.
And people will be like, she's not wearing diapers. I say, no, she's potty trained. And they're like, how did you do it? So this is the secret I'm sharing with you.
That's great. Yeah. I wish I'd known. Mine were like 3.
That really doesn't have to be so complicated. You make the commitment to it. Yes. Like you commit yourself and you prepare your mind.
Yeah.
What you say, all these things matter. Before we now talk about the methodology you want to use, how you can apply that to your lifestyle, all those now come later. Those are the techniques. Before we talk about the techniques, we have to settle the foundation first. That's what I talk about. And I think that's a wrap.
Okay.
So as I say good words about your kids every day, like every day I say, my kids are full of peace and they are a continuous source of joy, pride, and peace to us. That's the parents. Because I know, when you see some other people's kids doing drugs and everything, it's a heartache to their parents. So I always say my kids are a continuous source of joy, pride, and peace. Yeah. Because I believe that when they grow up, they will continue to give me joy.
Yes, yes.
So I already started.
Yeah. It's what you put in them.
So always do that for your families. And I think that will always help you spark joy. Get grounded, meditate, anything that helps you find your sweet spot, to help you set the tone right. Yes. Like me, I wake up in the morning, that 1 or 2 hours when everybody's still asleep, that's my sweet spot. Like I just log out of all the noise before the kids wake up.
Yeah.
And mommy.
A lot of moms do that. That's like a nice, quiet moment to yourself. And that's very important is when we feel stressed about other things other than parenting. We need to find a way to, control that anxiety. And then that way, when we are talking to our kids, we're not just bringing all that energy with us. Yeah, because it's so easy to say things we don't mean.
It's true.
or make poor choices.
Yeah, you're so right. You're so right. So I think we've actually wrapped that up, and it's time for the gifts.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So who will go first? Should I go first?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so in the spirit of celebrating all parents, we are offering this gift. I'm going to be giving out 50% off for potty mastery. It is my online course for all parents to learn how to potty train their kids. And in short, what you'll be getting is so much, 50% off for something that is worth like so much. So you're going to learn how when to know how your child and you are ready to potty train. You're going to learn how to design a customized potty routine and method that work for you and your child. And you're going to learn the number one rule of potty training that's going to help you become successful. Techniques I use to potty train both day and night, because those are two ball games. But you can combine them. But I don't believe in potty training first for day, then before you now battle the night. No.
Okay.
You can do both together.
Okay.
And it's much more easier.
That's
You just
good.
okay, this period I'm doing this, and you just get it done once and over with. So an easy follow through process that you can use to, and you can include fun ways to potty train your child, how to apply the potty mastery methodology, even for special needs kids. Yeah, it works for them also.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, we also have a special needs expert that works with us too, so you can always ask questions from her. So how you can handle accidents and successes for better results, and damage control when your child cannot poop or doesn't want to poop on the potty or doesn't want to pee.
Yeah.
You know that they know what they are doing, but something's just not working. So damage control for things like that, and damage control for bedwetting and regressions. Somebody told me about when she had her second child. Even though the first child was already potty trained, all of a sudden the first child wanted to wear diapers again. So how do you handle that kind of regression? So so you also get 6 months all access to all of this, and 6 months all access to my coachings, and any questions you have, discussions. You get 6 months all access to our community group where you meet other people, because like KonMari, when you do it with friends, it's much more result oriented and you're happier doing it, you're more committed, and
Support.
you have
to
follow through than when you are doing it alone. So the community is really important. So you get a soft copy of Potty Mastery daytime, a soft copy of Potty Mastery nighttime, and bonus bundle of animation lists where your kids can watch videos on potty training, and your shopping list of your must-haves and products, how to choose the right product for your potty training, you get that list too. A reading list, you get that too. A printable progress chart, you also get that too. All of this valued at $609.
Oh, wow. Yay.
But for the next 24 hours, yeah, you can actually get it for $97. Like, yeah. So all parents, you better grab this now. Like, this is it. So for the next 24 hours, you get this for $97. And you also get my volume 2 for potty mastery starter kit, the volume 2. You get that too for free as well. So that's my gift to you.
Okay. Well, I don't have as much, but but a good one. A few years back, after I had my first son, I wrote this book, the new Mommy Handbook. So it has a lot of helpful tips in there, and there's organizing tips in here too. So I've made it into an ebook. So if you go to simplejoywithann.com/giveaway, there's a place where you can request what item, which you can download the book, and there's a couple other things too.
Okay.
Go see me?
And if, yeah.
Okay.
And if you go to nosaigbe.com/PM50, that's PM for potty mastery, 50% off. You also get the bonus there. You can register right there. So Nosa Aigbe, NOSAAIGBE.com /PM50. You get that. So you go there and register for your 50%. You grab that right there. So I think that's a wrap for everything.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. So that's it.
That's it. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.